Why is the After Effects graph editor so difficult to understand? Imagine trying to read a map with no labels or legends. That's what working with the After Effects graph editor can feel like at first. It's a powerful tool, but it can seem confusing and overwhelming. The graph editor shows animation data as curves instead of simple keyframes. These curves representing either how property values change over time or how fast those changes happen. Beginners often get lost because this is very different from the straightforward timeline view. One reason it's tricky is because there are two types of graphs. The value graph shows the actual position, rotation, or other property values over time. The speed graph shows how quickly those values change between keyframes. Knowing when to use each one depends on your animation goals. For example, if you want a smooth start and stop, you might focus on easing curves in the value graph. But if you want to control acceleration, the speed graph is your go-to. The interface also adds to the confusion. It has a grid background, handles on keyframes, and buttons to switch between graph types or show reference curves. These controls are not part of the basic timeline, so you need to learn how to navigate them. Adjusting curves affects motion in subtle ways. Moving a handle can change the speed or the path of an object, and understanding that connection takes practice. Terms like keyframe velocity, influence, ease in or out, and handles are specific to animation. Without knowing what they mean, it's hard to predict how changing a curve will impact your animation. For example, easing in makes an object start slow and then speed up, which is controlled by these handles. Another challenge is that changes in the graph editor don't always show immediate results. You might need to preview your animation several times to see how your curve adjustments affect motion. This delayed feedback can slow down learning. Mastering the graph editor is essential for creating smooth, natural animations. It lets you control acceleration and deceleration precisely, which basic keyframe editing can't do. For example, adjusting the handles on the speed graph can make an object ease in or out smoothly, making motion look more realistic. To get comfortable, start by understanding simple keyframes in the timeline. Then, gradually explore the graph editors to graph types separately. Watching tutorials that explain how value and speed graphs relate to real-world motion helps a lot. Practice with basic properties like position or rotation, and see how curve adjustments change the animation. In short, the graph editor can seem tough because it introduces new ways of visualizing and controlling animation. It requires learning new concepts, interface controls, and how curves influence motion. But with patience and practice, you'll find it becomes an invaluable tool for making your motion graphics look polished and professional.